Welcome back to another Real Talk with Real Talk video. We are here after OKC eliminates the Denver Nuggets. Denver Nuggets have been eliminated from the playoffs. Really quickly, I'm just now seeing this tweet. I do want to hear what he has to say. Apparently, he has something with the playoff schedule.
Health is a lot, you know. I would really appreciate it if there were a couple of days in between games in the playoffs instead of every other day. Regardless if you go 7 games, I understand if you do your work early and you get first seed, then you can have some time off. But I think the days in between games, not just off day and a travel day, but a travel day and a recovery day, just two days. I think the product of the game would be a lot better. I think there'd be just a better product on the floor, just to give all these professional athletes just one more day of rest, and you would see a higher level of basketball, probably less blowouts.
I'm not even going to say I disagree with what he's saying, but my question is, did he say this after game 6? Did any Nugget complain about the schedule after they won a blowout game in Denver? After OKC had to travel? No, they didn't? Okay, so I'm not trying to hear that right now. Take your L and go home like a man, sir. We're not trying to hear them excuses. Anyway, here we are. Let's get to the box score. One thing, though, in all seriousness, I do want to give credit to the Denver Nuggets. I want to give credit to Denver Nuggets. They definitely extended this series a lot further than what I thought. I thought this was going to be a 5-6 game series max. For them to take it to 7 shows that they play with a lot of, championship pride and heart. You know what I'm saying? They played well, about as well as they could, had some injuries. Injury luck didn't go their way this time, but, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Again, when it goes in your favor, you don't bring it up. When your team wins the championship, when the other team is nicked and banged up, you don't bring it up. So when you lose, you just got to kind of take it on the chin. Ball. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Michael Porter was 3 for 8 today, 0 for 4 from 3. Aaron Gordon was out there with half a hamstring. He did grab 11 rebounds, scored 8 points. Nikola Jokic took 9 shots in this game, but he did shoot 11 free throws. He finishes with 29 and 7. Christian Brown came out here and balled today. That was the one positive. I know he was 2 for 9 for 3, but Christian Brown showed up. He gave a valiant effort. Jamal Murray wasn't great today at all. You wish that he could, play better in this big spot, but again, sometimes it's just how that goes. 2 for 7 from Russ. 4 turnovers. He was a minus 34, biggest minus on the team. I do remember in that was it the first quarter, first half, where Denver was up or the game was close or tied? They subbed out Nikola and Jamal, put in Russ, and that lineup lost the game. I mean, that's pretty much what happened. So shout out to Russell Westbrook, still playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder and still helping them win. Julian Strawther had a regular Julian Strawther game. He wasn't in Denver today. He didn't get that boost from the home crowd. He was on the road in the Game 7 atmosphere and played like a regular Julian. So shout out to him. And then we see in Jalen and Zeke and Hunter Tyson minutes, that lets you know it was a blowout. 125-93 was the score. And OKC today, J-Dub came, showed up and showed out. 10 to 17, 24 points, 40% from 3. 7 assists, 5 rebounds. He had a phenomenal game. Look at Shay's numbers, man. 35, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, a block, 4 stocks, 12 and 19 from the field, 3 or 4 from 3. He played like an MVP today. Shout out to SGA. I really wish they would have announced the MVP award during the series. That would have added to the cinema and the dramatic effect of the series. But they didn't. We don't really know what's taking so long with them announcing the MVP award _ wait. That is interesting. I think the NBA really did itself a disservice by not announcing it during this series. Like, what even is the holdup? And to be honest with you, the longer we wait, the more I'm thinking, are they finna get that award to Jokic? Are they finna let Jokic win the MVP this year? Because it felt like SGA was kind of like the MVP hands down. What's taking so long? Let's announce that award. I do very quickly because there's not really much to say about this game 7. I mean, OKC showed up and they showed out. The defense today was fantastic. The defense on Nikola Jokic specifically was great. Held them again to 9 shot attempts. They were swarming, and I want to give a big shout out to the man that did a lot of that. Alex Caruso is just a godsend when he's on your team, man. Just an absolute godsend. He's one of the best defenders in the league by far. Like, it's crazy. He can guard guards, he can guard wings, he can guard bigger wings. In this series, he guarded centers and the best center in the league to many, and did a phenomenal job on him as well. Man, I wish Alex Caruso was still on the Lakers, man. That one hurts. Every time I see Alex Caruso play, it's like, damn, he was in the purple and gold, man. And we let him go for THT. My word, man. What a horrible decision. What a horrible decision that was. Alex Caruso would be useful on the Lakers right now, and he'll be useful for any team that's trying to win a championship, because he's all of those like cliches that we have for players. It just applies to Alex Caruso. Winning player, championship DNA, all that kind of stuff. It works. He's the embodiment of it. Like, he's really that. Any team try to win and win seriously, Alex Caruso is a positive on the team. He's phenomenal. I do want to talk very quickly though about the upcoming series that they have. So now we do have the Eastern Conference Final set up, and we have the Western Conference Final set up. We have Indiana versus the Knicks, and we have OKC versus Minnesota. Yes, I'm recording, Drake. Number one, I expect that these two series are going to be outstanding series. I'm expecting both series to go 6-7 games, honestly. I don't know if I want to speak on the Nick Pacer series yet, because I haven't chosen a team yet to win the series. I really haven't. I don't know who's going to win that Pacer Nick series. OKC versus Minnesota. This is another one where, although the Nuggets didn't beat OKC, to me they definitely exposed a very flawed offensive team, which we had questions about OKC. Well, at least I did. Had questions about OKC offensively all year, despite the record. I was trying to tell people all year that if they lost, it would be because like just lack of offensive personnel, lack of a reliable second ball handler and shot creator and shot maker, playmaker on the team. And I think that's very apparent still to this day. I think Denver being able to zone up as much as they were able to against OKC, and for that to affect them the way it did, shooters just could not consistently hit shots. Lou Dort again, one of 5 from 3 today. Chet again 0 for 3. You had an anomaly game with Shea going 3 for 4, and truth be told, anomaly game for J Dub going 40%. Aaron Wiggins was 2 for 8. Kaysen was 1 for 6. Like, they shot 31%, well, 30.8% from 3 today, and still won by that margin, which again is just a shout out to their defense. But Minnesota has a really good defense too. And see, that's the thing. Also, what was apparent is that they're not going to be able to shoot the ball well enough to play Rudy Gobert off the floor defensively either against Minnesota. To me, that is a concern, because they're going from having Jokic as at the rim to meeting Rudy Gobert, who is, we may not like him or whatever, but he is one of the best rim protectors of this generation, if not the best. So very interesting. I think Shea's going to have to still, even in this series, rely on a lot of over-the-top shot making, pull-up shot making. I don't think he'll be able to just get to the basket comfortably or consistently, or at least as much as he would like to, relative to his regular season output. J-Dub's going to have to hit shots. Lou Dort's going to have to hit shots. The role players are going to have to hit shots, man. Like, if they don't, I don't know if they can beat Minnesota. We have two great defensive teams. And in all actuality, if I go player for player between the rosters, I trust Minnesota's offensive personnel a little bit more than OKC's. I think Julius Randle has proven to be a better offensive player than Jalen Williams. I think, Chat, am I crazy to think that Nas Reed is better than Chet offensively? Is that something crazy to say? Or at least a conversation? Who's better offensively, Lou Dort or Jaden McDaniels? People saying Dort are legit trolling right now. No, you're not crazy. And did you speak about that shitty process? No, I haven't. Well, I'm just talking about a potential just preview to the Minnesota OKC series. You get to players like, I mean, iHeart is better than Rudy Gobert, Casey Wallace and Nikhil Alexander Walker. DiVincenzo and out. Like I think it gets like 50-50 as you move down the roster. But I think their best 3 or 4 is that's tilting towards Minnesota. Also, can Minnesota hit shots? Both of these teams defensively, what they did in these in this series that they played previously, right? When OKC played, who they played Memphis, left some people open. This series, they for sure like leaving Christian Brown, leaving Russ. Minnesota was leaving. Hell, they was even leaving like Rui above the break. I remember they were leaving B Pods for the most part, Jimmy, Draymond, Kaminga. So both teams are going to do a lot of we leaving him by himself. There are going to be multiple players guarded like that on the 3 point line. I know for a fact Dort's going to be guarded like that. Caruso is going to be guarded like that. Chet is going to be guarded like that. Not necessarily because he can't shoot, but he's still not the most reliable shooter. But his shot release is his jumper is just so slow that even with the longer closeout, you can get to it in time for him to have to put the ball on the floor. Aaron Wiggins probably gonna have to hit a few shots before they respect him. Same with Kaysen. Like they gotta open up some of these driving lanes by hitting some shots for SGA. And same for Minnesota. Nas Reed is gonna have to shoot the ball well. Julius Randle, who's gonna be left alone a lot, especially above the break, probably is gonna have to shoot the ball well. Jaden McDaniels is gonna have to hit some of those corner threes that he's wide open on. Mike Conley needs to be at least bare minimum a spot up threat. He's not doing much else. So very interesting to see. I know this is, I mean, it sounds very simple, or maybe even like a simpleton analysis, but it's going to be the team that wins that series is going to come down to the role players in shots. I mean, to me, that's what it's going to come down to. And who do I trust as far as the role players shooting better or playing better offensively? Minnesota. I don't know if I'm willing to just go all the way and say as my official prediction that I think Minnesota is going to win this series, but I am leaning towards. I'm leaning that way. I'm not going to lie. I'm leaning that way. Now, Joel Embiid did make a good point. Turnover. Minnesota's going to have to take care of the basketball. Minnesota's going to have to take care of the basketball because that's kind of what fuels OKC's offense, man. They get some stops and some turnovers, and they get out and run, and it's over. You know what I'm saying? If they turn Minnesota over consistently, which granted they've been the best team in the league at turning opposing teams over, they can win this series in 5-6 games. If Minnesota can take care of the basketball, then we'll see. Also, Anthony Edwards. This is going to be the best defense Anthony Edwards has ever played in the playoffs by far, not even close. Some things I'm looking for from Anthony. Number one, make the easy pass and make the easy read consistently. And that sounds easy until some of them players start missing, and then you don't want to pass him the ball anymore. But he's going to have to do that. If he's at the top of the key and they basically are playing 2 people at the nail, he's going to have to make that quick swing to DiVincenzo. And DiVincenzo is going to have to knock some shots now. The 2 players now, as far as this is also something, chat, and to all my YouTube people as well. I want to say the 2 people that shot the ball up like abysmally last series for Minnesota was DiVincenzo and Nikhil Alexander Walker hasn't shot the ball well. Like this playoff run, they've both kind of been. A few things. Number one, DiVincenzo isn't as bad of a shooter as he's displaying, and neither is Nikhil Alexander Walker. So hopefully, for Minnesota's sake, they kind of get some of that progression to the mean from those 2. DiVincenzo has to be able to shoot the ball well. Nah has to hit corner threes at a good clip. He just has to if they have any chance of beating OKC. Dante and Nah are going to be very key in this series for Minnesota as far as perimeter shooting. Oh wait, also, I'm interested in seeing who guards Randall for OKC. Dort or J Dub? Probably J Dub. But for Minnesota's sake, whoever it is, Julius still needs to be effective. Ant cannot have a cold 3-point shooting series. If Ant goes cold on pull up threes, OKC will win in five. That's simple. If Ant can't make his pull up 3-point shot that he's been relying on a lot this year at a good clip, OKC will win in five. Because I already see him not really having the greatest of like finishing at the basket. He won't be highly efficient at that in this series, in my opinion. He barely uses the mid range game to begin with. So his game is predicated off his 3-point shooting. 3-point shooting and passing and playmaking. He's got to hit his over the top jump shots, and he also has to make the correct reads when they're there. And he's going to have to trust his teammate to hit open shots. Low key, same with Shea, because they're going to be sagging off some of these non-shooters, and it gets hard for a player to keep passing to the open man when the open man continues to miss, and miss. Like that affects your psyche as a player. Do I want to pass the ball to him? I know he's open. I know this is the right play, but you have to continue to make the right a bad shot or a highly contested shot at the rim. So this is going to be a very tightly contested series. This might end up being the best series of the playoffs, even better than the finals. Like I'm very much predicting this series going 7 games. Yeah. Right now, as of Sunday, May 18th, 8:34 p.m., I'm leaning towards Minnesota. However, that is not my official position yet. Not my official position yet, but I am leaning Minnesota. I'll continue to think about that and probably tweet out my official position. If you don't follow me on Twitter or TikTok, or if you're not a member of my room, all of those links will be in the description below. Make sure you're also subscribed, like the video, comment, share. Yeah, this is going to be a great series. A little bit about the Knicks Pacers series. I was actually just talking to my dad. He was like, the Pacers are going to beat the Knicks, and I was like, why you say that? And he said they're gonna play the Knicks bigs off the court. They run too much. I said that makes sense. He said if they plan on switching Cat on Halliburton, good luck in those pick and rolls. If they plan on putting Cat out there, good luck. If they think they can put Cat and Mitchell out there at the same time, good luck. And I agree. However, I do think that you can get away with playing double big lineups against Indiana if they're going to be effective offensively. And how is a double big lineup effective offensively? Offensive rebounding. If they can kill Indiana on the offensive boards, which mind you, that's what Mitchell was doing to Boston, and that's what made him so effective. Because what that does is that number one creates extra possessions for you, obviously, right? You have more opportunities to score. But what that also does is slow down that Pacers pace, right? They're not playing off of misses over and over again. You want the Pacers to be taking the ball out as much as possible, because once they get a rebound, they're kicking it ahead quickly. Now you're cross matched, and now you have a guard on Pascal, and now Pascal is at the already posting up his mismatch. He's getting doubled, swing, open through. Like that's it happens quickly with Indiana. They don't waste time getting that ball up the court and hunting a mismatch. Advance pass early, or maybe Tyrese gets it, pushes early pick and roll, because you're not all the way set. Now you done switched your big, and now he got your big in isolation. Now he finna cook. If you don't feel like he gonna cook, he gonna find Miles Turner with the guard on him now. So you have to make the Pacers take the ball out the basket, man. You can't allow them to get consistent stops and consistently go against a non-set defense. So that's the one way that the Knicks can get away with the double big lineup. If Mitchell and Cat are going to go out there and abuse them on the offensive glass. Another thing I am worried about is guarding Indiana's guards, because I feel like the Knicks do better on wings than small, shifty, quick, fast guards like Mikal and OG. I think Mikal is probably better at it than OG. If I was them, I would probably put Mikal on Halliburton. I don't know what pick and roll coverage they play though. See, that's the thing. Or they could think of doing this. You could put OG on Miles. You put Mikhail on Halliburton, and you put Hart on Pascal. Because those are the three people that kind of create most of the mismatches. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to post up Josh Hart, be my guest. I don't want Indiana consistently creating and generating open threes. And I feel like that's what they do very, very good. But I was thinking OG on Miles, so when they run that 1-5 pick and roll with Halliburton, OG can just switch onto Halliburton. And it wouldn't be such a mismatch like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of similar to what Boston did against Dallas when they put JT on the Mavs center. Kind of similar to that. So you probably put Jalen Brunson on Neesmith. Yeah, Neesmith. They are going to hunt Jalen Brunson for sure. They're going to hunt JB, but I'm trying to put enough of the defensive help that they have on the switch, on the players that beat switches for them. Pascal, Halliburton, and Miles Turner are the three people that beat switch coverage for Indiana, right? You switch a big on the Halliburton, he's beating that big majority of the time. You switch a little man onto Miles, he's posting up, making himself available, and probably hitting a little turnaround 5 to 10 foot shot or a little hook or something. Like he's taking advantage of that. And if you put a little guard on Pascal, he's posting them up and scoring on against a mismatch at a very good clip. So you have to try to defeat that by making the switches less of a mismatch. Because in all honesty, you do probably have to switch. You can't play them in drop because you can't give Halliburton pull up three opportunities. You can't have Cat on Miles because you would have to play drop. Or if you're asking Cat to guard Halliburton in space, good luck. I mean, I know they got away with that some in the last series, so shout out to them. But again, it's different. It's a different foot speed, ball handling speed when it comes to guards than bigger wings like JB and Tatum. It's just a different level of speed and quickness. So although Cat could hold up some possessions, Mitchell Robinson even held up in some possessions against some of those wings that the Celtics have, but different level of foot speed now. What advantages do you think the Knicks have? Again, I think if they go double big and the bigs rebound, I do think that's very much an advantage they have. I also think Jalen Brunson will be able to get his game off for sure in this series. I mean, respect to Neesmith and Nimhard, but I do think Jalen Brunson gets his game off. A player, I also think, they're going to have to do to Indiana what Indiana does to most other teams. And that 1-5 pick and roll, when Cat is the five and Miles Turner is out there, has to be effective. That has to be a go to action that produces points at a high clip for the Knicks. They have to be Jalen Brunson has to be able to make pull up shots if Miles Turner is going to be in drop. Cat's going to have to make those spot up threes if Miles Turner is going to be in drop and he gets those pick and pop looks at the top of the key. Right. And that is something that they can, I mean, both of them, JB is one of the best pull up shooters in the league and Cat is one of the best shooting bigs ever. So that 1-5 pick and roll action will definitely be something the Knicks should be able to produce points and advantages at a high clip in that action. And God forbid if they just start switching, then Cat should be able to post up whatever mismatch that is, and or JB should be able to take advantage of a big trying to guard him in space. Something else too, just to look at, is a little bully ball from OG. And this is something I've been noticing about OG. Shout out to OG. He's really like come a long way as an offensive player too. Yes, by the way. But like on some of his dribble drives, if he has Nimhard or Neesmith on him, he should be able to get to the basket and finish and or get a foul. You know what I'm saying? Like he has to be able to take advantage of when some of those smaller players on it because Indiana does kind of play small with Halliburton and Neesmith and Nimhard. Like they're not small, but they're not as big as like even Mikhail. I know Mikhail's frail. How tall is Mikhail? 6'6", 6'7". OG is 6'7" and strong. Like they're gonna have to be able to take advantage of that matchup. 1-5 pick and roll, OG bully ball, offensive rebounding, Indiana is definitely the deeper team, and the longer the series goes, or depending on the first number of games won by the Knicks, that will matter. So, for example, if the Knicks get up, let's say the Knicks get up 2-0, Tom Thibodeau needs to understand and realize, right, if that game three isn't going how you want it to go by like quarter, let's say 6 minutes into the third, hey, pull your guys out and let them get some rest. He's gonna have to try to pick spots, but the Pacers are the deeper team, and they're gonna be able to keep up that level of pace for the entirety of the game and the entirety of the series. So I'm hoping Tibbs. I'm hoping again. If it's 2-0, if you won the first two games at home, game three looking like you finna get blown out, hey, cool, cool. We lost game three. Now play them another 45 in game four. You know what I'm saying? I'm, like, that's what you're gonna do anyway. We shall see, man. I don't have an official pick for either series. I'm just about to enjoy great hoops. All the teams that I wanted to win lost, but all the teams I wanted to lose have lost as well. Maybe outside of one. I don't want to see Indiana win. Yeah, I would. So I have one more hate watch. Again, if you want to join me in my hate watches, they are phenomenal. They're great. They're fantastic and entertaining. Link below in the description, my playback. Make sure you tap that link and join the room. Again, follow me on Twitter, TikTok. Catch me on the panel. I'm on there 2 or 3 times a week, depending on the week and my schedule. I'll be on there this upcoming week, not Monday, but Tuesday and Friday. I'll be on the panel next week, so check me out there. Yeah, man. Again, shout out to the Nuggets. They extended the series as long as they could, but eventually the better team won. That's the thing about the NBA. You have to win 4 times in a series to advance. 4 times in a series to advance. So to me in the NBA, 9 times out of 10, and I know people say, "Oh, it's about matchups and da 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 da." I think the better team wins. Honestly, I just think the better team wins. And OKC was the better team the entirety of the year. OKC's been the best team in the league, quite frankly, all year, and they should win the championship this year. Oklahoma City should win the championship this year because these other 3 teams that's still in the playoffs, respectfully, all regular season, nobody even considered these teams on the same level as the Thunder. The three-headed monster was OKC, Boston, and then the Cavs had put themselves in that conversation due to the regular season that they had. The Cavs and Boston are both out. So that tier of elite team in the regular season, they are the last one standing. They are the best team remaining in the playoffs. So they should win the championship. So we shall see, man. SGA against Ant and Halliburton against Jalen Brunson. Great conference finals coming up. Great basketball about to be played and great basketball about to be watched. Until next time, it's your boy RT, and it's been real.